So, I think the topic of today is likely known by people watching this video or live stream, depending on if you joined early or not. Before I begin the reading, I would just like to say a few things because I'm really an all-time potentialist. I guess that would be the correct word. Me reading books or talking about data, history, etc. on YouTube as a platform, it's sort of a it's making up for a hole in my life, essentially, which is probably the whole of not being able to talk to anyone. Yeah, there's messages, there's other modes, vehicles, but there's a difference between controlling a car with a remote and actually driving the thing, if you know what I mean. There's a huge difference. So while doing live streams like this is not really driving the car with the steering wheel in itself, it's still something like that. It's making up for that, and that's really important because learning things doesn't make you smart like that. I'm not saying I'm smart at all. I just think I'm sort of well informed in some areas, more than most people at least. But talking about it, anything, it makes you learn about it way more. It embeds it in your head, and it's at least for me, it makes me understand things and clarify them better while experiencing them again at the same time. So the reason I'm going to read the book I'm about to read is because I'm going to have to read it out loud, and then I'm going to give an explanation of what's happening after each chapter. And that's not only going to help the audience understand, if there is any audience, but especially for myself, it's really going to help me grasp what's actually happening, especially when you read things out loud. Because at least for me, when I read out loud, it really helps me grasp the concept even more. It really makes you feel the emotion even more. It's like, what would be more emotional? A singer or you singing the song yourself? Maybe you singing the song because it's your emotion being put into it. So that's basically the idea of this. And yes, I am going to be reading a whole book. So now let's get to the topic of the book because this is way too much. So I'm scrolling on the internet, right? I wake up at 3 in the morning after sleeping for 7 hours, and I begin just watching fashion documentaries because this is the first thing I just asserted to myself, you give yourself a fucking break. You've been studying a bit, not a lot, but you've still been studying. Just give yourself a break. Then I proceeded to then I proceeded to learn about John Galliano, and then the entire history of Dior along with their perfume and cosmetics line, which is very lengthy. So Dior was Galliano had like a really long history. Poor guy loves Hitler, but that happened. Then I just happened to accidentally click on a whole documentary on Mughle, and then I just watched it. Yeah, and each of these is like 20 to 30 minutes, and the Galliano was like 50 minutes. So you can just imagine the add up of time. It's what, 6 now? It's 6:12 a.m. It's 6:12 a.m. So 2 hours basically thrown in documentary. I'm not going to say it's wasted. Way more about John Galliano, and I'm questioning my ethics at this point, but I learned about that. Then, I'm like, let's work on some project, any project, And as I'm switching off the platform, I see this video. By the way, I don't watch weird shit. I have actually good sources and I confirm everything. The scariest theory in history. No, that's not the actual title. I just really abated the value of that. I feel ashamed now, but I'm not gonna. The darkest theory in human history. That's the title. Yep. If anybody knows me at least a little bit well, they know that I have ventured in these sorts of topics for quite a long time, and that I'm really good at falling into them. So obviously, a person who was traumatized by the simulation theory for 3 weeks, I had to check it out. I clicked the video, and it immediately just starts talking about it. The caption, I'm not going to spoil it actually, because it got a little bit spoiled for me, but I would just wish not to spoil it. Anyways, I click on the documentary on it, like 30 minutes or something at least. That's not bad. Then immediately the most just dramatic introduction of all time, and then they say it's all illustrated by this wonderful book called cyclonopedia. Then there's just this itch in my mind which is saying, if you watch this video you're gonna spoil the entire thing. You have to read the shit first. And I've read lots of books. I used to be a really concerningly good reader when I was a kid, and I just stopped. I really questioned that. Why did I just stop reading? I know this is getting lengthy. This whole it's been 10 minutes at least, and 6. Okay, I get this is getting lengthy, but I just want to give some context. I hadn't read for a while. I barely read books. I issued David Copperfield and Crime and Punishment. I didn't read a single. I read it, Crime and Punishment, and a little bit of David Copperfield, but it really just I didn't read it because it just didn't magnetically attract to me. I don't believe in one thing, one secure thing existing, but you still feel this connection with something. It can be described in science, but put science aside for a second. Let's imagine there's something divine going on. You feel that connection. I felt that connection only once or twice. One was with a book by Mark Manson. He's a really good writer, and 13 Reasons Why. And I read 13 Reasons Why 4 times in a row and completed it, so that was a really good storyline. Really good job there, Jake. But then this book, Cyclonopedia, is the third incident this magnetic attraction is happening. So if I don't read this book, I'm gonna tear my eyes out of my eyes. Sorry, that's really bad. That was a really bad way of saying it, but you get what I'm trying to portray here. So obviously I'm gonna read this book, and I'm gonna do it out loud in front of this camera so that I can really contextualize it, and if I really need more data I can just watch this again. Because of course. Also so that I can see how long it really takes to read a book like that. Just where my thing over here. I don't know who made this piece, but this is better than Christian Dior. At least in today's way. That's a really nice piece. Okay. This is really nice. Oh, fuck me. I love this. Okay, that's besides the point. Let's get to the main point. Now, there's this website I'm not gonna mention. Okay, that's alright, dude. There's a website I cannot mention, but that's what we're gonna be reading. I don't recommend using it either. I'm just using this for educational purposes. Not like I'm educating anybody, but that's besides the point. Oh, come on, this is fucked up. Okay, no, that's a fail. Okay. But yeah, this is being used. Oh, wow. What the fuck? Okay. This is still being used for educational purposes. So please, just if anybody is trying to ban me, keep that in mind. Are you fucking kidding me? Okay. Okay, no, no, no. I see. There's that. Then we've got. It's not easy. Okay, give me a fucking break. There it is. It's important I show the whole thing as well, because if I don't, then that's not gonna be really good. Why is this okay? Fuck that. I don't care if you can see this or not, but there it is. I need to make sure you can see it though, because okay. This is really confusing. I swear to God, this is so confusing. If I place it there, then you'll be able to see it. Okay. This is the title of cyclonopedia. I'm going to fucking shorten this because I really need to read this in peace. Cyclonopedia. Complicity with anonymous materials. Reza Negarstani. What? I feel like this is oil. I'm not gonna spoil the whole, but this looks like when you put oil and water. You know, when you clean a mirror and there's a residue left, it really looks like that. Not sure about this though. The meat legs going on over there. I really aren't sure about that. Page, I think 245. Cyclonopedia. Complicity with anonymous materials. Anomaly. An anomaly deviates from a norm. It's difficult to recognize or clarify or classify, I apologize. Anomaly is a series which publishes heterodox, eccentric, heretical works, mashing fact with fiction, poetry with philosophy, fish with fowl. Anomaly is a laboratory of unprecedented writings. AR Press series. Okay, let me just unpack this. Anomaly deviates from a norm. Anomaly, okay. You're just describing the anomaly. This is a part of the anomaly series. There's multiple books in this series. Shouldn't I read it from the start then? Fuck. Okay, come on. We obviously have to read it from the start. Okay, we're gonna try this again. Okay. Anomaly series. Cause look, I'm not fucking around, man. I'm gonna read this shit full. Okay. I really hope I'm right here. Anomaly, Thali is a Rangur, okay. Luminary. Okay, no, what? I'm not sure if I'm capturing. Okay, I know I wasted some time, but it is very important I get this right because I'm not reading this marvel of a book like just like it's a toy or something. Okay, I need to capture it in its full essence. I'm not fucking around over here. I watch a good movie, critically acclaimed, and I'm gonna watch it in the darkest setting possible. This is exactly that. Okay, Anomaly book, Reza Negrastani. Okay, I wrote the name wrong. Okay. Okay. I think that's the only book. Why is this so hard to find? I'm not gonna. Okay, what the fuck is going on? I should be able to find something. Cyclonopedia. Fuck me. There's nothing over here. This is gonna eat me up. Okay, we need to. Is a series with what series I need? We are not going to read this book until I find out what the fuck is going on. I promise you. You can stay here for an hour. I'm finding the rest of these books. Okay. We need to look at Safari then. Okay. Where is the where I've had first into theory fiction work known as the possum. Okay. Okay, I don't think there's another book. Okay, this is the only book that I know, then we don't have a choice but to read it. Okay, fuck me. Anomaly deviates from the norm, or a norm. It's difficult to recognize or classify. Anomaly is a series which publishes heterodox, eccentric, and heretical works, mashing fact with fiction, poetry with philosophy, fish with fowl. Anomaly is a laboratory of unprecedented writings. Cyclonopedia, complicity with anonymous materials. Razanigar Astani. Incognitum Hastenus by Christine Alvanson, 2008. It's all repress, all rights reserved. Books preserved on using plantation timber. Okay. This manuscript might never have seen the light of day were it not for the tireless efforts of Robin McKay in reading and editing it. Thank you, Robert McKay. Seriously. Oh, this is fun. Where'd they get that image from? Is this... I mean, obviously it's old, but... Incognitum Hastenus. Okay. This is gonna get fun. Christine Advanson, Turkish Airlines Flight 2002. Sunday, July 24th, 2005. Drank 2 glasses of Sauvignon Blanc at John F. Kennedy Airport bar. Take sleeping pill on a plane. Think I took a painkiller earlier in the day and a couple of Advils. Plane laid on the runway. In out of consciousness. Waiting, sleeping. Wake up, we're in flight. Think still as the ascending plane is slanted upwards. Not feeling well. Sick. Get up quickly to go to the bathroom. Must get to the bathroom. I feel faint, suddenly thinking that I may never wake up. The next thing I remember is I'm on the floor and the passengers in the seat above me are bearing down. I tell them I fainted and they all make a buzzing noise that sounds like yeast. Flight attendant is in front of me and saying something. I can't hear as the floor is vibrating hard below me. I know I should get up. She reaches down to me and I pull myself up. Everyone's looking at me. I'm too out of it to be embarrassed in the bathroom. I don't want to come out because they'll all be looking at me. Sitting on the door seat of the toilet and doubled over. Closing my eyes and it's all red. Flashes of red blood sparking with those amoeba kidney-shaped images I get when my eyes are shut. Only not blue or yellow, gold, but red. I feel like I'm gonna faint again. I am going to throw up. Time passes, blackouts of me, seeing everything red-orange, closing my eyes, and red feeling of my naked body laying in globs of blood. Okay, no, I need to read this from that part again, because this is... Reading it really fast is sort of difficult. Okay. getting back. Flashes of red blood sparking with those amoeba kidney shaped images I get when my eyes are shut. Only not blue or yellow gold, but red. I feel like I'm gonna faint again. I'm gonna throw up. Time passes, blackouts of me seeing everything red and orange. Close my eyes, and the red feeling of my naked body laying in globs of blood. I should do this on the other one as well. Sorry, I've interrupted again, but it's not like anybody is watching. What I mean to say is that it's not like anyone's watching, so I want it to be inclusive, so I'm probably gonna have to read it from here as well. I don't give a fuck about the niggas on my phone though, so. Again, this is not a public. I really just want people to know about this book. Okay. But like random shit. Okay, that's just fine. Okay, I really hope that's okay. That should be fine. Anyways, continuing from the part where I was. If you haven't read this book, for the other viewers on Instagram, then just suck it up and just read the book. It's called. It's part of the Anomaly series. I forgot. I keep forgetting the name. Fuck. Cyclonopedia. Flashes of red blood sparking with those amoeba kidney shaped images I get when my eyes are shut. Only not blue or yellow gold, but red. I feel like I'm going to faint again. I'm going to throw up. Time passes, blackouts of me, seeing everything red and orange. Close my eyes, and the red feeling of my naked body laying in globs of blood, coagulated and overripe blood. I open the door and the flight attendant is waiting for me. She hands me the burgundy sunglasses, which must have fallen off my head as my eye fell. She escorts me back to my seat in the center of the middle section, beginning to watch a movie on my laptop. Trouble Every Day reminds me of one of Frank Zappa's songs. Thinking the movie will end soon makes my libido ferment, but I am not comfortable. Monday, July 25, 2005. Traveling to Istanbul to meet a guy who goes by the serpent like initial, which is highly unpronounceable in English. The serpent like initial is a eye looking initial, it's resembling an eye. Planned to meet the person who had a serpent like initial, just to clarify, at the airport. Arrive at airport an hour or so late. Off the plane and carrying my heavy bag. Switch hands back and forth to distribute the weight of my body. Just confirm. Okay, just to clarify, these two are connected. I know it's sort of difficult to understand for some people because I've been in that point, so I'm just going to clarify it. If you're reading this along with this, the book Cyclonopedia from the Anomaly series, Reza Negarsate, these two are connected. So yeah. Anyways, so far down the long corridor, walking briskly, eyeing everywhere, looking for it. On the moving walkway, walking faster down the corridor. My palms are sweating. Down to the visa area to buy the visa for $20 easily, and quickly move into the customs line. I pass through customs and then walk forward to collect my luggage. Walk down one long line of carousels. It doesn't seem right. So I ask a couple of workers where the 002 from NYC is, and they direct me to 7 at the other end. Check my BlackBerry while waiting for my luggage to come out. Email from AG saying he has been to Istanbul. 2. Not to be found in the crowd. Not that I know what he looks like. He said he doesn't take photos. But I will be in a dark brown shirt and will recognize me. I will make myself stand out, wearing what I'm supposed to wear, and pacing the arrival area so he can find me. While I'm waiting, I'm thinking about what the implications of not meeting me are. He didn't show after a few hours, so I proceed to my hotel in Sultan Ahmed, an area called Nina Hotel, which X suggested. Again, these X names, their names. So, anyways, Sultan Ahmed, that's the name of the hotel. In the van, the hotel has provided on the way to the hotel. Okay, no. In the van, the hotel has provided on the way to the hotel. I take in all the buildings and the vegetation as I always do, and try to figure out what the train looks most like. For a brief moment, I think it looks like Belize. Oddly enough, I take the flowers in the center of the roadway for Nerium oleander and get excited. Buildings look prefabricated with a squarish configuration. Streaming past lots of things, the sea to my right with many ships in it, land to the left. The driver turns left and the van heads up a narrow cobblestone road with an incline and filled with buildings of character. Just read through this once more. Looking for 2. Okay. Okay. The fuck? Okay, that was not. Okay, no, what the fuck just happened? The book's gone. Good. Okay. Anyways, where was I? This is page number 9, the end of the line. The vibes of Turkey are distinct from anything else I've ever felt. I turn on my iPod and switch to the file with the pronunciation of his name he sent me. It shows the most as the most played song. It's one of the things that Germans call unausprechbar. Check in room 302. Attempt to call Serpent on the number he gave. No answer. 2. He was going to show me Istanbul as we've been in contact for a number of months since he emailed me through my Suicide Girls profile. He said he contacted me because I had listed a Warwick professor as a favorite writer and he knew him, his friend. To make contact on SG, you have to be a member, and his profile was admittedly one of the strangest I'd seen. One of the strangest I'd seen. Listing his location as Taklamakan, his favorite book as Eden, and not much else. Like the solid black image he had put for his profile picture, 2. was evasive and rather shady. The kind of elusiveness that turns me on. Istanbul was to be an adventure. Fun. Tried to email him through his SG profile, but now it's inactive. Realization that Serpent is not gonna show and I have no one in Turkey, and a non-refundable exchangeable ticket with 7 days or so to do. Non-refundable exchangeable ticket. Okay. So I decided to make the best of the situation. Sightsee, get into some trouble, forget about work. I remember I had the black book with the grey and black back cover in my hand while I was waiting for my flight to board. Starting to read my book. The cover picture showing a body stretched out in blackness. 1:36 p.m. Contact to via his chemical pink email again, and admittedly, messages, I get pathetically desperate. No response. I remember when one of the reasons I answered his initial email was because it had pink in it, and almost as if he had created an email just to provoke me. Go out and wander around. Find myself in the blue mosque, legs covered with the green shade of beautiful gardens, surrounding pretty, hydrangeas blooming like at home in New York. Too hot to be outside. Back to the small room. On the way back, buy a bottle of Chardonnay and some takeout Turkish kebab. I finally feel like I'm gonna wake up. Not quite sleepwalking, but confused about what time it is and where I am. I flick the still full glass of wine over by accident, and the wine hits the floor between the twin beds. Automatically react and stumble to the bathroom for a towel. Begin dabbing the wine. Amazingly, the has not shattered. Liquid running, seeping under the bed. Manage to turn on the light and look under the lifted bedspread. Half asleep, half awake, I see something under the bed. Wine's not gonna get it, and I'm done cleaning. It's filthy, and I think, go back to bed. Tuesday, 26th July 2005. In the morning, sun shining through the orange tapestry curtains, I'm displaced. I think it's a jet lag. Look over on the other bed and see the dust covered box, and vaguely remember it was exhumed in the night from under my bed. I remember it's Stu's email when he said that thing being in the Middle East and facing its cultures and languages would be so foreign to me. It's like suddenly falling into the hold of a smoothly narrative story I've been reading for years. Suddenly page numbers warp and things go missing. While listening to Lupus and Fabuta, I began to inspect the contents of the box. Items in the inventory include a thick piece of writing titled Q Knapuzu with the name Reza Negarestani written on it. Sections, each paper clipped with various articles for each chapter. Some pages being nearly hidden under a small yellow postcard notes or margins with saturated by handwritten notes, and drawings in black pen and pink highlighter, making it nearly impossible for me to read. Looks like a manuscript. Business card for computer repair shop. Box or bracelet inside. Old postcard with image of Istanbul and old Turkish text on the front, and more writing on the back. Stuck to a library Dipara card. A piece of paper carefully folded between the edges, between the pages of the manuscript. It looks like a PGP encrypted public key, but it's not complete. At the top of the paper is a handwritten note. Should send them my complete key. Very old page ripped from a book with the image of a girt, an axe, and a wolf dog. VCD of a movie named Japai Somse. A philosophy of the book Tomb for 500,000 Soldiers by P.A. Guyotat. Overwhelmed by entering a new level of adventure, I pull up the items of my new inventory one by one. Now I can sympathize with it when it told me there's no pleasure more extreme than to be transfixed before a new item or to find a new weapon in video games. Note on top, when the section reads, Hagia Sophia, the logo of Empress, second floor, must go there. Sun blades rolling on my Scandinavian skin. Visit Hagia Sophia and look around. I use the map as I'm getting help from the walkthrough I've bought to find the lodge in the Church of the Holy Wisdom. Can't figure out how I should use the walkthrough by tracing the cryptic letters and icons on the floor and walls. All churches are built upon blasphemy, as two once told me. I can easily see it here, the images of winged abominations in the corner of the upper ceiling. The upper floor is a freak show of saints and martyrs, all protected by the seal which Serpent once sent to me on the walls, a twisted number or symbol starting level, cutting, then curling like the Mobius loop. It looks like the calligraphy written on archways and the outside of buildings here in Turkey. As I'm looking on the right side with the number of tourists in the room, a guy approaches me and says, "Do you speak English or Turkish?" And I say, "Yes, English." He gets excited and said, "Have you seen it?" And points to a corner where others are hovering. A small space with a black iron grate. Curious, I have to go look. Through the grate, I look to the right and see the color gold. He asks me after I come back what I think, and I answer I saw it. Notice a liquid, sky like Astro Boy figure on the floor of the main level as I'm leaving. You. On the way back to the hotel, I get my iPod and put the headphones on. Walking back, listening to the music. The sun is bleeding into my eye. Burn, 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 burn. If. Research Reza Negastani online. Find an article entitled John Carpenter's The Thing, White War and Hypercamouflage. But the text has been replaced with this message, this page is not available. A piece with a similar title in Reza Nagastani's manuscript, even though the post is not available. The comments are, the first comment from RN reads, "Identities are the plot holes of someone else's curriculum." Vitae. That's a really interesting statement actually. Identities are the plot holes of someone else's curriculum. Let's check this out actually. We'll actually do that later. C theory, hyperstition and cold me. I contact the other contributors at Hyperstition website who seem to have known RN for a relatively long time, but none of them have met RN or could offer much help. Contributor at Hyperstition asks if I know where Reza is because she's abruptly halted his regular contribution since June 18, suggesting to me that I contact RN's Iranian friends. I look for his article. Again, it says this page is temporarily unavailable. Track a few blogs listed on the Hyperstition website. Apparently belonging to RN's Iranian friends, some of the people I contacted suggest that RN must be a fictional invention of hyperstition, a term loosely defined as fictional quantities that make themselves real. A few people think RN might be another avatar, one of those contributors at the Hyperstition website, and finally, some took Reza at face value, believing that he would need to host a site outside of Iran to circumvent any internet laws that could cause problems for him. Maybe that's why he removed so many posts at Hyperstition. Cold me. Apparently, RN's personal website, strangely hosted by a German server from Jatnoof, upon entering a wrong URL, hosted by a German guy who, named B, signs it himself, Kraut Design, and seems to be a paranoid about, and especially about discussing RN. He replies back, "Don't make trouble for Reza." Is Reza male or female? At first I thought female, but now I would like to believe that RN is male. Later at night I wake up and the room is glowing orange, like the way drapes look when the sun's curtain. As they focus, the walls get progressively deeper in color, thicker, and infinitely more desirable. It's an endless passion to be enciphered in this room forever. The four walls are falling in closer and turning into orange, red, with layers of bodies and fermenting orange, pink blood, lubricating them. The window, I can't get it open. This place continues to deteriorate. Hotel rooms have their own approach to time. There's this drawing present, uh, TSA, time space, going forward, past, present, past, future. The future is in the past, the present is derived from the past, the past and the future are connected. Incognitum. We're gonna, all the terms mentioned here, we're gonna unpack into them and then we're gonna sort of understand that. But for now, we need to read the whole thing to understand what is going on. So, Wednesday, 27th July 2005. In the documents I found, there is a postcard and a card from a bookstore on Bioglu over in Takism. Library de Para, Philip Dade Kadesi, 22. Till Bioglu. Everything sounds straightforward with this clue. Go to Takism. Walk down the street past into the fashion stores, into the store where lighting is dim, and is an exact bibliophile twin of an alchemist's workshop. Think that this is one of the places where books are chosen by the dust they attract rather than their covers. The more dust they collect, the more exciting they get. The store is rich with the fragrance of an old bath dissolved in dust and decaying paper. I asked for Garçon as his name is on the card. The owner's not there, so I lay out the postcard and the notes written in the front and back for his assistant. He does not speak English well enough to understand me fully. He points to the top text on the card and says, "No Turkey." I say, "Arabic?" He shakes his head. I point to the handwriting on the card in the notes section and say, "Turkish." He says, "Not Turkish. Farsi." He shrugs again and I look around the small store and find the most curious old leather book sitting on top of the pile of books in the corner with a strange curly symbol in the spine. Walk back up. Istiqail Kadesi. Stop in the cafe for a glass of wine. Ask the waiter if he can translate the writing on the postcard, and he looks at the image of the church and he says, "Kalisa." Then motions up the street. Weird, because the postcard says Danzig, so it can't be the church up the street. He looks at the text in the back and he says, "The top text may be old Turkish, but can't translate for me." I pull up a section named the Z crowd. I search online for Negal and Tel Ibrahim, a place which seems to be significant, and I find a picture of Negal stinging his penis. I switch to page 261 as the page has been marked by a pink magic marker. This was the last thing West told me before leaving Mosul with his sons to locate that Iranian oil smuggler and doctor who claims to have the diaries of Ibn Maimun, the Persian occult saboteur, guerrilla expert, and conspiracist who assisted the Fraternum to overthrow the Caliphate regime in Egypt. First, LT A OSA US V1 Battalion, 41st Infantry Regiment. Everybody in this manuscript seems to disappear without a trace. Anyways, I noticed this after reading a note on one of the page margins. Your contribution to the insanity reminded me of the ancient Greek and Latin scripts for plays, in which the names of the characters are attached to the text with their roles, and the moment they should leave the stage by different means in medieval theatre, they called it exeunt, or they go out. Characters were characterized by their exit level. Pulp horror takes this stage flight to its full fledged extremes. All that comes in must go out by any means possible. What's so what's so bizarre about these writings, quite ironically since I continue to read them, is that there's not much so seething dread. No, is that there's so much seething dread and outsized monstrosity prowling to the pages, yet there's no sex part, not even one penetration. Yet I continue to read. On my back again in my DFA 1979 shirt. Catch the smell of the night's wine in my glass on the table between my beds. My head hurts between my eyes. Should I get some Advil or I want to sleep, but too frustrated to get up. Relax my mouth, relax my feet and toes. Finally begin to feel some pleasure taking away the pain in my head. I like the pleasure of you losing your limbs one by one. The only thing that makes me secure is having repeated visions of being XXX. There's no body in my vision, there's something. I don't know what it is. I'm not sure if I vaguely think it is 7, the writer of the notes, RN or something else. It's not like making out with spirits, but rather something which has stripped itself of body to be a better subject of penetration, to be obscenely deeper. Get up to go to the bathroom, take 2 more Advils. Well, I have it. Well, I have enough to make it to a trip. Left hand downwards. Wait a minute. Okay. Left hand downward tight between my legs and holding the tapestry bedspread. I don't know why, but at some point I give up the drumming in my head as I take over. Sleep is the only way to stop. Thinking maybe I'll do some more online researching on RN, but for the moment it takes too much energy to get the laptop and log on. I feel frustrated with this game. Clues or evidences are the most relentless plot holes. They can even linger after a story fades away. S. Should I change my room is 3 or 2. It's really getting to me. There's someone in the window across the way who keeps looking over at me. I go out for lunch. Timeout guide says Rami restaurant is one of the distinct classy options up to the top floor. I sit in a room with a wooden floor which produces creaking sounds as I walk, making me believe they are choosing to not repair the place to make it more authentic. The effect really works. Wonder whether H is an antique seller or a retier expert. Around a restaurant, the setting would be like this. I start to read RN's, Renati's text from page 41. Paleopetrology, from Gog Magog, access to Petropunkism. Not getting very far because the praying at the Blue Mosque is corning over on the loudspeaker and drowning my thoughts. I head down the stairs to leave. The stars have a unique space of their own. A paradise structure spiraling down. I notice a James Spader photo out there on the wall. James Spader, my favorite cult actor. Wonder to myself, celebrities carry around glossy photographs of themselves to autograph everywhere they go. Walls are perfect objects to play things on. Scenes will join together, sense of beyond and sense of confinement. As I'm writing now in room 302 and picking up letters, the chair is swiveling and leaving marks on the wall. It looks like a constellation of inscriptions written on the wall with infinite barbs and talons. It is the shape of writing. I wonder what's this manuscript's. I wonder what this manuscript shape of writing is. Business card for Vega Computers in Maltep. On the back says laptop repair £100. Osden will not erase the manuscript or notes. Take a cab very far, maybe 2 hours in traffic, to shop and try to find my laptop and additional information. Get there and finally find present the card. Store owner disappears, leaving another guy with me, and I'm waiting and waiting for what it seems like forever. The shop is located in a bazaar with various stands as I wait. The tattoo artist, whose shop Arthelia Tattoo is at the end of the bazaar, comes over and starts talking to me. Yes, I have any tattoos, and I say no. Why don't I get one? He says. I think, well, after coming all the way to Maltap, I should make the trip worthwhile. I've been wanting a tattoo anyway. The owner finally returns with a black laptop that looks oldish. I asked him if he can turn it on to check it out, but he wants me to pay him first. But I want to test it, boot it. The thing runs loud and loads slow. When the desktop comes up, I see the usual icons. No, it says serpent over there. As a serpent logo. I see their usual icons clustered in a black, white, grainy image of what looks like a human cutting himself open with a straight razor. As I switch to start the program, I see multiple other programs too. MathType, Lindo, MathCAD, Maple, FuzzyGen. Okay, let's unpack into this one. I feel like this is something we should unpack into before we read forward, because this is really important. But reading hurts your eyes, okay? I don't have a blue light filter or something. Forgive me. Anyways, getting back to the point. He says that okay. So he goes to a laptop repair shop where the computers, and then she tries to find the laptop for additional information. There's some sort of laptop that it means that there's some sort of laptop. I'm not sure where the laptop's from or if she wants to fuck the laptop or not, but what we know is that there's a laptop she's looking for, and that is data on it and programs which she needs to do research. I'm gonna sort of talk about what's going on here, because as I said before, I'm gonna describe each chapter and what's going on. I'm not gonna leave people hanging, but you get the gist of what's happening. Go into documents, but when I try to open one, I find they're all PGP encrypted, every single one of them. I go on the search browser and check the history and bookmarks. I find 2 links bookmarked in a Netscape browser and quickly write them down. http tinyurl.com education slash JVW Woodbury given names dictionary. Check the CD slot and find CD. When the guy's not looking, I slip it into my bag and tell the owner I'll come back to pick up the laptop after I get the money. Think about it as I walk around and decide the laptop is really useless. Back in the room with EFES beer, as the room did not have corona, store did not have corona. If I can't pass through these plot holes, then it's best to leave my own holes. Pink magnolias, NYPL, NYBG, cherry blossoms in DC, more pink. A fleshed out nipple, a bleeding heart. Little girls, pink velvet ribbons, pink spaces, pink lights, my entryway and upstairs foyer, bright pink clays. A pink cashmere sweater set, Christo's pink blush, or the rack of lead for blush cotton candy. Pink poodles or pink cats, pink cover of latches make the most perfect shade. Pink lipstick, pink CD holders, pink pearl necklaces, pink pearl earrings, pink camisole, pink highlighter, pink Christmas light, and pink flowers. Peonies and tulips. Christmas cactus in bloom in my room. Pinkish lilac. Pink hydrangea. Pink rose of Sharon's. Rare pink poppies. Carpet roses spinning in pink flowers. Begonia, spider flowers. Cosmos, sweet peas. Toad flax, moonwort. Petunias, floxy. Butterflower, sun moss, wax, pink lilies, saffron, pink wisteria, malvacia, oyster plant in pink, foxglove, caryophyllaceae, heather, the assay, magnolias, Chinese crabapple flash, by my eyes, pink torrent. Another page margin, it reads Exnopoetics. I really need to get this laptop closer to me because I really need to relax while reading this. Fuck. Okay. Because it's not fucking easy. Okay. That should be easy. Okay. Exnopoetics. He has something to do with composing out of distorted materials. One page is missing. One or two lines are pseudonymously or anonymously quoted. One scene leaks from the future into the past. An object evades chronological sequence. Numbers turns into a cipher. Everything looms as an accentuated clue around which all subjects aimlessly orbit, leading into an eclipsed riddle whose duty is to enlighten but to make blind. Burst of light, fields of axonopatics grow sporadically until they take over the work around regions. Overwhelming with a range of distortions from inauthenticity and corrupted authorship, structure holes, and bugs, and subterranean structures of hidden writing. Exopoetics doesn't really insinuate adventurous modes of expression or prose. Reading about the misauthorship and inauthenticity, I'm compelled to write on the left margin of a page through the manuscript. Am I not the most generous parent who feeds children with raw meat? Trying to match my handwriting. Walking back to the hotel, I start passing an outside restaurant. Lots of activity and laughter. Looks very nice with a wooden frame furniture set. Claim cushions, makeshift comfortable couches, Turkish rugs on the ground. Women playing Takli Nard and groups of young people smoking apple hookah. I think back to the time I tried this in New Orleans. Pause for longer than a moment and back again. Back to the room. That's intense. You just stay on the floor then maybe. You know, poor things deserve something, don't you? Okay. Blackout, seeing rodents climb the walls, thousands, millions of them like wingless birds flying to the void. It vaguely reminds me of FM Conford's The Unwritten Philosophy on ancient Greek cosmology. Also reminds me of the artist who makes these rodent sculptures I saw at the Saatchi Gallery in London, like chunks of rats layered and layered upon each other. Hotel rooms are examples of things to be exhumed. The cheaper the price, the more oddities you just might encounter. Found something very interesting in the wardrobe of 302. The concept of progress must be grounded in the idea of catastrophe. The concept of progress must be grounded in the idea of catastrophe. That things are status quo is the catastrophe. It's not an ever present possibility, but in each case is given. Thus, Strindberg into ever Damascus hell is not something that awaits us, but this life, here and now, put in my pocket. I must remember to check the reference to Strindberg online. This is really difficult to interpret because I'm reading it all, but it's really fucking complicated. It's like it's like more of a, what's the word? I need a second to close my eyes. It's more of like you know those things. Yeah, like what's an example? The Mandela catalog. The Mandela catalog is really, it's all broken apart at first and then it pieces itself. That's exactly what's happening here. So that's why it hurts your head while you're reading it. It really hurts your head, but I didn't come here to give up. I'm gonna read the whole thing. This is page 20. I'm gonna make it to 200. Hotel rooms are examples of things to be exhumed. The cheaper the price, the more oddities you might run into. Found something very interesting in the wardrobe 302. The concept of progress must be grounded in the idea of catastrophe. Things that are status quo is the catastrophe. It's not an ever present possibility, but in each case is given, thus Steinberg into Damascus. Held on some awaits us, but this life here and now. Put in my pocket. Just remember to check the reference, Steinberg online. So what's happening? Okay. In the box, there's a beautiful pink mother of the pearl, a sterling bracelet with a note attached. Sarah Diev Dostan. There's no address in the receipt, it's just marked with Artist Bazaar and a handwritten note Persian which reads Nazdik Masjid Abi. Try the bracelet on, it fits perfectly and rests on my front hand in the most curious manner. I wear the bracelet to the Artist Bazaar to ask about the purchaser. When I get there, there's more than one jewelry store, so I go jewelry store by jewelry store to see where it came from. Come up empty. A sun blister is growing on my left shoulder where I'd been leaving my skin exposed. But now, days after putting more lotions on it, it seems worse. Past the point of pink, it's raw red where the skin's open. The size of a penny. Edge of a round blister is black among most of the line. I don't sit in the room constantly touching it, pressing down an infection. Don't touch, I think. It's true that the Middle East is the best place to go missing, the best place to get lost. It's time to leave. I cannot find RN or Serpent. I decide to take the manuscript back to the US with the intention of publishing it. For Sorceress. Contents. Oh, okay. Now I think I'm going to interpret this and explain what happened. Now, this was the introduction essentially. So, if I'm correct, this writer or researcher, Christina Alvanson, found this manuscript while trying to meet with her lover, Serpent. Serpent is the lover. I don't think there was any names given. But there's multiple references to her gaining sexual arousal from the thought of the serpent, or maybe Reza Negarstani, including her putting her hands in the middle of her legs, if you didn't notice. But there's multiple references to that. But yeah, there's that. There's also some things we need to clear up. Okay, what's happening is that she went to a flight. She got drunk and then she starts seeing things. She describes it very vividly. This description of, and I quote, flashing of red blood, sparking with those of amoeba kidney-shaped images. I get when my eyes are shut, not only blue or yellow, gold, but red. It is really good. I've been trying to find a way to describe that. I wanted to, as well as that, I wanted to also implement that in my personal artwork, but I really couldn't find anybody else talking about that. And then I find this manuscript from 2008, which is a really nice. I wanted to talk about this, but I was forced to read the whole thing because you understand. It's a really lovely description of that. And look, again, there is this person mentioned. He's called Serpent. His initial is I. 2 is also Serpent. Not to be found in the crowd. But yeah, he didn't come. It's probably some online dating thing. If I'm correct, it could be or it couldn't be. I'm not sure. Or something akin to that. Then she found the manuscript, New Level of Adventure, Sunblade. Then she tries to find them, research them, but she didn't find anything. And over here should be the part when there's sexual arousal. Okay, here it is. Oh, it's not there. Okay. Here it is. On my way back to in DFA 1979 shirt, I catch the smell of the night's wine in my glass and the table between my beds. My head hurts, my eyes blah, blah, blah. There. Finally begin to feel some pleasure taking away the pain in my head, like the pleasure of using your limbs one by one. The only thing that makes me feel secure is having repeated visions of being XXX. Now, XXX is not actually referring to pornography, it's just referring to person being in that situation. There's no body in my vision. There's something, but I don't know what it is. I'm not sure if I vaguely think it is seven, referring to serpent. The writer of the notes, RN or something else, it's not making out spirits. It's not like making out with spirits, but rather something which stripped itself of a body to be a better subject of penetration, to be obscenely deeper. There it is. Now I don't know if this, because obviously writers don't want to just fuck things. Okay, trust me, I know. I think she's using this example of sexual arousal to describe her longingness to know the truth. I think that's the correct interpretation. But yeah, she goes to try to do something with some computer. I don't know which computer this was. I feel really bad that I don't know. I feel like I missed out on something, but there's some computer at work. I'm also not sure about this pink canvas highlighter. I think that's someone else's computer. Something she found in the disk drive. Abduction. Now we're gonna get on to some shit. Hopefully. For sorceries. Contents. My eyes hurt. I'm gonna take a brief breather and just get some water too. Two glasses of water because my hand's barely working and it's really just work. Now to get a glass of water. So deviating from that point, I'm back and I'm